Good evening and welcome back. Councillor Peterson.
Thank you, Worship. I would move that council come out of in camera at 7:20 p.m.
Thank you. We have a motion to come out of in camera. All in favor?
Aye.
And that motion is carried.
And your Worship, before we go to the public portion, I'd move that council defer the discussion on items 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4 to after correspondence on the regular council meeting agenda, thereby creating a second closed meeting section with the new discussion changing to number 13.1.
Thank you very much. You've all heard the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
And that motion is carried. So just before we go into our agenda items, I just wanted to make a comment. I was recently in Canmore for a mid-sized cities mayor's caucus with Councillors Langmaid and Councillor Mitzner. And I was approached by a lady councillor, not that that matters, but I was approached by a lady from St. Albert, from the city of St. Albert. And she saw my lanyard with my name and my town that I was representing. And she made a point of coming to me to tell me that we had gotten their former CAO and that he had done amazing things in the city of St. Albert and that we should be really lucky and grateful that we have him. So I just wanted to acknowledge our CAO publicly because in the short time you've been here, you and your finance department, your planning department, your head of infrastructure, everything has just been tightened up. And the projects that we've had on the go, some of the things we've accomplished have been on a very large scale. And I think you're the right person in the right time and in the right place to really to lead this town into some really good things in the future. So I just wanted to acknowledge you for that. Thank you. And we move now. We have no public hearing. We have no public comments tonight, I believe, Jonathan. And we have no delegations. So we move now to item 7, consent agenda. Deputy Mayor Langmaid.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to move that Council adopt the recommendations of the following agenda reports by an omnibus motion. 8.1, Special Council Meeting Minutes for December 4th, 2023. 8.2, Regular Council Meeting Minutes for December 6th, 2023. 9.1, 2024 Recreation Cost Sharing Agreement Extension, Wheatland County. 9.2, Phytoorganics Letter of Support. And 12.1, letter from C.M. Zablocki, Deputy Commissioner, Commanding Officer, Alberta RCMP.
Thank you for that, and I should apologize, Council. I should have mentioned at the start or asked you at the start if there were any items that you wanted to remove from the consent agenda. So procedurally, Jonathan, is there a way to still do that once the motion has been made? I guess that could come up since the motion's on the floor with discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any councillors who would like to discuss that? Seeing and hearing none, then I'll call the question on the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
And that motion is carried. So we move now to item 10, bylaws. 10.1, 2024 Supplementary Assessment Bylaw number 24-04, which is found on page 30 of the agenda. Liana, are you speaking to this? Good evening, Liana, and welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, or Your Worship and Council. My apologies, just getting the right documents on the right screen. So I'm here tonight to present to you the 2024 Supplementary Assessment Bylaw 24-04. This is our annual bylaw that allows our appointed assessor, Wildrose Assessment Services for the municipality, to determine new improvements added to our properties after or since December 31st of the previous year. Without this bylaw, we cannot do supplementary assessments, which it adds additional revenue to the organization. So this is an annual request that I bring to you in January, and I am looking for all three readings tonight. Is there any questions on this bylaw?
Thank you, Liana. Are there any questions from any of the councillors concerning this supplementary assessment bylaw? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for the motions to begin. Councillor Peterson.
Your worship, I would move that council give first reading to bylaw number 24-04, being the 2024 supplementary assessment bylaw.
You've all heard the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Deputy Mayor Langmaid.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to move that council give second reading to bylaw number 24-04, being the 2024 supplementary assessment bylaw.
Thank you for that motion. Now that we have motion for second reading, is there discussion on the motion? Seeing and hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Deputy Mayor Langmaid.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to move that council give unanimous consent to proceed with the third and final reading of bylaw number 24-04, being the 2024 supplementary assessment bylaw.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. And Deputy Mayor Langmaid.
Thank you very much again. I'd like to move that council give third and final reading to bylaw number 24-04, being the 2024 supplementary assessment bylaw.
Thank you. I'll call the question again. All in favor?
Aye.
And that motion is carried. Thank you, Liana. Thank you, council. We move now to 10.2, 2024 operating line of credit bylaw number 24-05. Liana.
Good evening, Your Worship and Council. I'm here tonight to present our 2024 annual operating line of credit bylaw. I want to just mention to you that this is a just-in-case bylaw. One of the reasons that we ask you to pass this bylaw every year is to ensure that if we ever came into a crunch where we couldn't meet our cash requirements before our property taxes are due on June 30th, we would be able to draw on our line of credit. So the town of Strathmore has had an operating line of credit for close to a decade, and we have never, ever needed to use it. I believe this is used to our fiscal responsibility on how we spend money and knowing that our capital projects are normally paid for during the summer months during construction season. As administration has been reviewing our financial practices to ensure that they align with the Municipal Government Act, this is a contingency approach to support the town's existing line of credit that does not require does require a bylaw to comply with our legislation. As you see within this bylaw, our outstanding debt has been reduced over the last couple of years as administration and council have been striving to reduce our debt based on council's strategic plan. So I'm here tonight to ask for all three readings of this 2024 operating line of credit bylaw. Is there any questions?
Thank you, Liana. Are there any questions from council?
I don't have any.
Councillor Peterson?
I'm ready with a motion, Your Worship, if that's okay.
Thank you.
I would move the council give first reading to bylaw number 24-05, being the 2024 operating expenditures line of credit borrowing bylaw.
All in favor?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Langmaid.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to move that council give second reading to bylaw number 24-05, being the 2024 operating expenditures line of credit borrowing bylaw.
Thank you for that. Now that we have a motion for second reading, is there discussion on this motion? Seeing and hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
And the motion is carried. Deputy Mayor Langmaid.
Thank you very much. I'd like to move that council give unanimous consent to proceed with the third and final reading of bylaw number 24-05, being the 2024 operating expenditures line of credit borrowing bylaw.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion is carried. Deputy Mayor Langmaid.
We'll round it out. Thank you very much. I'd like to move that council give third and final reading to bylaw number 24-05, being the 2024 operating expenditures line of credit borrowing bylaw.
Thank you again. All in favor?
Aye.
And the motion is carried. Thank you again, Liana.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We move now to item 11, councillor information and inquiries. 11.1, questions between councillors and council statements. Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to 11.2, boards and committee reports. And I don't believe we have any. 11.3, question and answer period. Seeing none. Jonathan, do we have any administrative inquiries? And 11.5, do we have any notices of motion for tonight? Thank you. So that leaves us with nothing more to do in the public portion. So we're looking to go back in camera. Deputy Mayor Langmaid.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to move the council move in camera to discuss items related to sections 24(1)(bi) and 24(1)(a) of the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act at 7:30 p.m.
And the deferred items?
And the deferred items are they 13? Do I start with 13.1 now? 13.1, amenity opportunities, advice from officials. 13.2, emergency response equipment, advice from officials. And 13.3, council CAO dialogue, advice from officials.
Thank you for that.